everyone. Hi, Nupama. Hi, Carol. How are you all doing? Hi, Pooja. Nice to see you here. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Quick check. Now that with everything online, the two questions which are always being asked are, am I audible and am I visible? So I know that I'm visible. Quickly let me know if I'm audible and I'm clear. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, all right. So let me ask this question. This is week 2, right? And to give you a background, these are 52 weeks of learning, wherein I will be your partner of learning. I'm a big learner myself. I'm going to help you and share a lot of my learnings, a lot of concepts from different areas of life and help you excel in life and career. So we are going to do these 52 weeks of learning and growing together. And today is week 2 in that series. And week 1, it was about wheel of life, connecting with your wheel of life. We did cover a lot of areas and getting to understand the gap we have in each of those areas. And some people have, quite a few of you have shared a lot of those things, and quite a few of you have also messaged me with your wheel of life. Some of you have 8 areas, some of you have 10 areas, 11 areas. It doesn't matter. So whatever is important to you as part of your wheel of your life, put them on that wheel of life. And if you have not, okay, let me know in the comment. Type in yes if you were there in week 1 session wherein we were learning about wheel of life. Type in yes in the comment if you were there. And if you were not able to, then yes, definitely please go ahead and watch a week 1 session. It's there on my Facebook group. I have also uploaded that on YouTube as well, and you can watch that later. All right. So today it is about making our goals alive. Okay, how to make our goals alive, not literally, but then we keep hearing a lot about goal setting. We also set our own goals. Many a times, not all of those goals we are able to achieve, right? And sometimes we know those goals are लिखने के लिए तो बहुत inspiring लगता है, but then when you actually start to work on that, sometimes it becomes very boring and you start thinking, okay, why did I write this goal in fact, right? So how to write goals, how to make our goals come alive and make it more inspiring. I have put together something for you, which as you learn, so I have put together four areas which are very essential, which will help you not only to make those goals come alive, but then also will help you and inspire you, motivate you to make those goals come true, work towards those goals. Okay. So if you are ready, just type in ready in the comment. If you're watching this later, that's also all right. Please watch this video and watch it as if you are doing it live with me, learning live with me. Okay, great, fantastic. Hi Pankaja, how are you? Nice to see you here once again. Hi Swati. Okay, yes. Let's get started, and I'm going to share my screen with you all. Great, fantastic. Thanks Pankaja, thanks Swati. Okay. Let's begin, and I would, yes, please, I'll ask you to take out your notepad and pen, because all with me, people who have been very regular in my sessions, you know that I make you work. I make you write a lot of things, right? So please grab a notepad and pen and let's begin with today's session, which is making goals come alive. Okay. So what comes to your mind when you see this picture? This picture really clicked with me. It was for me. You can type in the comments. When you look at this picture, what do you think about this? So there's a girl. She's like standing there, looking. कहीं पे तो देख रही है, there is some light. So if you take the picture literally, there is some light coming in and she's thinking about something, right? So the first most important thing in our goal setting process, which will help you in making your goals come alive, is to understand, to think about it, to understand the why part of it. Why do I need this goal? Why do I even have this goal? Do I even need to work on this? Is it something that I need, or is this a peer pressure, or is this because someone else has asked me to do it? Is it because my family wants me to work on this goal, or is it that everyone is doing this? It's like a वो होता है ना, fear of missing out, FOMO. So I don't want to get into that FOMO, so I want to work on this. So understand why you are working. Why do you want this goal? Understand the why of it, right? How many of you have heard about Simon Sinek? Have you heard about Simon Sinek? Just type in yes in the comment if you have heard about Simon Sinek. You know, he's someone who talks about why a lot. He's been training leaders across the globe. He's a very famous guy into this area, and he talks about he says, you know, start with why. So that's the first most important thing of our goals when we are setting our goals, right? So Simon Sinek, please do go ahead, go later. Please check out Simon Sinek. Type in, and you will find a lot of his videos on YouTube as well. So go ahead and watch those videos later. So let me bring your attention to your goal. Take any of your goals and think about it. You know, why do I need this goal? Is it really important to me? What is the purpose behind this goal? So, for example, let me give an example. Say your goal is to be wealthy. Okay, I want to be wealthy. I want to earn more money. Now, many people, mostly everyone would have a wealth goal, right? Now, your why will be very different from the why of the person who's next to you. Even for that matter, your why will be very different from your husband, your spouse, your family member. You know, everyone will have a different why for that. So maybe possibly your why for being wealthy could be that, you know, I want to get free from debt. I want to be debt free. Okay. uh, for someone else, a why of, you know, being wealthy could possibly be, you know, I love to travel and I want to travel across the world, and I want to have enough money for that, you know, to go and travel to different parts, different continents, different countries, right? For someone else, why do I want to become wealthy? For someone else, it could be because, you know, I want to be, the reason could be I want to be financially independent. You know, मुझे किसी के ऊपर dependent नहीं रहना. I want to be independent. I don't want to depend on anyone for my needs, for my financial needs. I want to feel strong, and that could be the reason for being wealthy. Or it could be the reason could be, you know, why do I want to be wealthy? The reason could be I want to buy my dream home, that dream house. You know, वहां पे मैंने देखा है. It's like a beach house with nice bungalow or whatever it is. So that could be your why. So understand, why do you want this goal? Okay, so when I'm sharing all this, I'm going a little deeper into your minds, into our minds. Okay, and I want you to go deeper into that, because otherwise, when you do your goal setting, when you're writing your goals, when you're working on your goals, it becomes very superficial. When you go deeper and understand the reason behind it, that actually helps you to be motivated and inspired, and always be inspired towards working towards that goal. So, number one, the first reason, uncompromising thing for you to do is to write down your why, and do it for all the areas. In fact, I'll ask you to do this for all the areas in your wheel of life, which you have done in the last session. So, write the reason, why do I want this goal? In health, in wealth, in relationship. Why is it important? You know, what's the purpose behind it? Why is it so important for me to work on this goal? Yeah. So, yes, so right, that's the first one. Okay, so Anupama is asking spelling. I assume, Anupama, you're asking about Simon Sinek, right? So it is Simon, Simon, Sinek, Simon Sinek. Okay, all right. So that's the first one. Clear, everyone? Just type in clear in the comment if you're clear and you're with me on this. Okay. Number one is why. Now, let's move on to the second one. Now, once we identify the why behind our goals, it's now important to write our goals in a good way. You know how to write. Writing your goals is also an art, and I'm going to share one of the methods, which is called the well-formed outcomes method. And this is something which is part of NLP. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. For all those who are very new to NLP, it's neuro linguistic programming. I'm going to share this method with you. It's a very simple to follow method. It's called well-formed outcomes method. Okay, so how to write your goals with the help of well-formed outcomes method? Number one is to state your goal, to check whether your goal is stated in positive or not? So is my goal stated in positive? So let me give you an example. Okay. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Now that is a goal. Yes, it is definitely a goal. It is not stated in positive. You know, what you lose, you will also gain back, right? So writing your goal in a positive statement is important. Now, how can you reframe this statement? Reframe the goal statement and make it very specific. You know, instead of saying I want to lose weight, I want to be healthy. You know, I want to be healthy and fit, or whatever is your why. You know, whatever is your why, that also becomes your goal statement. So check, is my goal stated in positive? Okay. Let me give another example. If you are looking for a change in your job, I don't want to be stuck in my job. If you don't like your current job, I don't want to get stuck in this job. Okay, if that is a goal that you're working towards, then there's a lot of negativity in that statement itself. So I don't want to get stuck in that in this job. Now, people who are aware of subconscious mind, you know what happens here, right? So the more we focus on something, we get more and more of that. So when you say, I don't want to get stuck in this job, your subconscious mind will make you get stuck more and more in that job. So change that statement. So summary is check if your goal is stated in positive. If not, reframe it and make it into a positive statement. Yeah. Number 2, is the goal self-initiated, self-maintained, and within my control? So check whatever goal you have written, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's relationship, whether it's your career, your profession, your self-development, or whichever area. Is your goal self-initiated, self-maintained, and within your control? So what do I mean by that? Um, Let me give you an example. Is my goal self-initiated, self-maintained, and within my control? Now, an example could be, say, no, I want to travel around the world with my husband. Okay, I want to travel around the world with my husband and do vlogs. You know, I want to do video blogs and maybe start up a YouTube channel with my husband. Now, the goal is very good. Here, tell me, if is this goal self-initiated, self-maintained, and within my control? Just type in the comment, share in the comment if you think this goal is self-initiated, self-maintained, and within my control. So I want to travel around the world with my husband and together make a vlog with him, or make a YouTube channel, or work on the channel with him. Okay. So this goal, the intention behind this goal is very nice, that I want to do it together with my husband. However, it is not within my control. It is not self-initiated. It's got to do with, I'm setting a goal for my husband as well. What if he's not interested to travel? What if he's not interested to come on video? Then what will happen if he doesn't do the videos with me? If my YouTube channel is not starting, then I'll feel that stress, and I'll feel anxious about this goal. And I start blaming, why is he not helping me in this? What's the problem? Why is he not traveling with me? Why is he not doing those videos with me? So here, the goal which I'm setting for myself, subconsciously I start involving someone else as well in that. So when it is not in my control, then there will be a lot of stress, and there will also be a factor of guilt associated with it if I'm not able to achieve that goal. So think of this statement when you're writing your goals. Make it in a way that it is self-initiated, it is self-maintained, and within your control. So instead of involving your husband in doing those YouTube videos, you can also say, you can reframe your goal statement and say, I'm going to travel to these many countries or different countries and start up my YouTube channel. And if your husband is going to help you with that, you're going to do the videos together. Oh, sone pe suhaga. It's like add-on to whatever your goal. Check whether your goal describes the evidence procedure. So does my goal have the evidence criteria? Is that associated with it? Now, what do I mean by evidence procedure? How would you know you're working on your goals, you're taking those actions. Now, how would you know that you have achieved that goal or not? That is the evidence procedure. Now, when you take a health goal, when you take a weight goal, it's very easy. The evidence procedure is if you're taking a weight target, it's very pretty simple, right? If you are, say, 75 kgs today, and you're taking a weight goal of, say, 65 kgs, fairly simple. You go stand on the weighing machine, and if you can see that 65 kgs, then it's done for you. The goal is achieved. Now think of the other goals as well, something which is not as tangible as the weight goal, and think about those areas and understand what is the evidence that you are defining for yourself. So how would you know that this goal is achieved, whether you have achieved that goal or not? Yesterday I was doing a session with a few of my folks, and in that, I think Pooja, you asked, right? So Pooja is there here on Zoom with me. So she asked about emotional goal. Where emo- how would you know? So how, with respect to emotions, right? How would Pooja? Would you like to ask that question? Yeah, I have unmuted you. Just check if you are able to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Please ask the question you asked yesterday.
I asked that in when we are going through emotional baggages, or uh, in emotional independence, while we are growing towards emotional independence, how we can trace that our anger, our peace is getting control, is controlled by us. So that was my question.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you for asking that question once again, Pooja. So, this question, it's a very important one, and I keep getting this many a times with respect to emotional goals. If your emotional goal is to become more stress free, get rid of anxiety, or become more resilient, now, how would you know? What is the evidence procedure in that? अगर वेट वगैरह है, जॉब है, तो पता तो चल जाता है, अच्छा, when I've got my job, when मेरा वेट कम हो गया, I know that I've achieved that goal. But where it comes to things like this, a better relationship with your parents, or with your spouse, or having that emotional balance, emotional stability, feeling calm, peace, all those areas which are an important part of our mental health. How would I know? What is that evidence? Here, what you can type in the comment, what do you do to, what is your evidence procedure? All of you who are watching, this is an important part. Mental health is an important part. uh, it has to be the most important part of our goals. This is what I feel. So type in the comment, what is your evidence procedure for your emotional well-being? And while you're sharing in the comment, I'll tell you what could be some of the examples of evidence. Now, what is important over here is to first to identify, where am I right now with respect to my emotional health, with respect to my emotional well-being. Am I feeling, suppose, say, typically what I ask people to do is to maintain a journal and write down everything. Write down all the instances where you're feeling angry, or feeling stressed, or feeling anxious, or a negative emotional state that you're feeling. Maybe you may be ending up shouting at your kids, or having a fight with your spouse, or just not having a good conversation in different situations. So write down and observe and write down all those instances. Okay. And as you practice, as you take actions towards working on your emotional goal, okay, we're going to come to the actions as well in a while. Say one of your actions is to meditate, or one of your actions is to be more mindful in your conversations. Okay. And you have been practicing that for a few days. Now, every day, start observing all those instances where you're feeling angry, in angry earlier. So write down all those instances and observe, has there been any change? So अगर एक इंस्टेंस पे आप पहले बहुत एंग्री होते थे, बहुत किसी पे चिल्लाते थे, and has that changed? If you were shouting on someone in previously, has that changed now? How are you reacting to that? Are you reacting to that situation like this immediately, or have you now started to take some time, like, breathing, and then you're responding to it? So you are, do you see that you are getting a little bit of control? So I'm not saying total control, I'm talking about little bit of control. So have I started to get a little bit of control on those situations? If yes, then that is your evidence procedure. So identify, how would I know? So write for yourself, how would I know that I have, this is the evidence for me in this particular area? Say, let me give you another example. Say relationship. If you are working on having better relationship with your spouse, okay, and there has been a communication gap earlier, you don't मतलब सीधा मुंह आप बात नहीं करते हो. It's like every communication, it's like someone blames the other, okay, and you end up having a fight. Now suppose that this is the situation, okay, and these are real situations that I'm talking about, okay. Now suppose, say you have this situation. For you, what could be an evidence procedure when you're working on a good relationship, desired relationship? It could be having good communications, like, it could also be having those 15-20, spending those 15-20 minutes of quality time wherein you are having a good conversation, where you're having a nice dinner, nice proper meal together. And this is what I shared yesterday also, and it's about having that nice proper meal and discussing about what went well, how was your day, how was my day. That could also, it's simple, right? It's not rocket science. This could also be an evidence procedure. So coming back to the well formed outcomes, so what I'm sharing with you is, does the goal describe the evidence procedure? Now it is important when you're taking your goals to understand what is the evidence for me. How would I know that this goal is achieved? Because unless and until you decide on the evidence for you, you will always find that there is no progress. Unless and until you know the evidence, you will always feel that I'm not progressing towards my goal. Okay, so that is number 3. Okay, I'll quickly take a look at the chat. Okay, so Carol is saying, first to acknowledge the situation and then act upon it on the basis of your happiness. And it has to be done with a thoughtful pause. Beautiful, Carol. Absolutely. That's so nicely said. Pankaja, wait and then respond. Yes, wait and then respond. There is, if you would have heard about Mel Robbins, how many of you have heard about Mel Robbins? Type in me in the comment if you have. So Mel Robbins talks about her 5-second rule. It's a very famous concept, 5-second rule. She has a book also on that. So it talks about, when you want to take a decision, you want to do something, you do it in 5 seconds, she says, especially for people who procrastinate. That 5-second rule helps a lot. Now, how can we use that in, especially for our emotional well-being? 5 seconds, take a pause for 5 seconds. And then what you do, it's like taking an action for that. Just taking a pause, take a deep breath. When you say, people say, right, lambi सांस लो, पानी पियो. क्या क्या होता है? आप सांस लेते हो, पानी पीते हो, तो क्या होता है? You break that state. That state that we are in, we break that state. Okay, so that's about, so we spoke a lot about emotional goal over here. So so check whether your goal describes the evidence procedure. Okay, next. The next is to understand the context of the goal. Okay, is the context of the goal clearly defined? Is the context of my goal clearly defined? Now, what do I mean by context? So what does context mean? Once you have set your goal, do you know where you want that goal to be achieved? By when do you want that goal to be achieved? And with whom you want to celebrate, celebrate the achievement of that goal. So that's the context of it. So you may write it down. Okay, please take this down, what I'm going to share with you. So is the context of the goal clearly defined? Means where, when, how, and with whom. Where, when, how, and with whom do I want to achieve my goal? Where, when, how, and with whom do I want to achieve my goal? When you're clear on this, that's the context. When you're clear on this, that's the context. Let me give an example. I want to get a better job. I want to get a good job. Okay. I know it's a very vague statement for a goal, right? You can reframe that and set the context for your goal. Maybe you may want to get a job in one of the best places to work in India, or one of the, one of the Fortune 500 organizations in Mumbai. Okay. and working in Mumbai, so that say your family is in Mumbai and working in the same place where your family is. So setting that context for yourself in an XYZ role or earning XYZ, uh, rupees per month as salary. So setting that entire context, where do I want to work? Okay, with whom do I see that achievement? Maybe I want to celebrate with my family once I get an offer letter from one of the Fortune 500 companies, one of my dream companies where I want to work in. So set that context for your goal very, very clear. Okay. All right. So with me, everyone, just type in with you in the comment if you are with me and you are following the well-formed outcomes method. Okay. And with that, let me move on to the next one. Next is, does the goal identify the necessary resources? Does the goal identify the necessary resources? Now, what are these resources? Resources could be people, resources could be knowledge, resources could be skills. Um, there are internal resources, there are external resources. Internal resources for me, for example, for all of you, internal resources available with you could be your interest, okay, the time that you have with you, your inspiration, okay, all of that. So as we move on, the fifth is, does the goal identify the necessary resources? So I was talking about the resources, right? So internal resources and external resources. So for my people, knowledge, skills, time available, my motivation, my inspiration, all those are resources that are available. Few things which I already have, and for a few things which I will have to acquire. So with respect to your goal, take any of your goals. Health goal ho gaya, wealth goal, career goal ho gaya, relationship goal ho gaya. So take any of those goals and make two columns. In the first side, on the first side, write the resources that you have. What are the resources that are available with me? It could be, say, your desire to learn. Desire to learn could be one of the resources. Say you have a lot of time available, you may have people who will help you, you may have family support, okay, you may have certain knowledge, certain skills that that could also be one of the resources. Now once you filled in all the resources that you have, move on to the second part. On the right hand side, write down resources that you need, that you need to acquire. Say for example, one of your goals is to, you're working towards a promotion. Okay, you're working towards getting a promotion in your job. Now some of the resources that you may need is doing a course or doing a certification or acquiring certain knowledge which will help you in getting a promotion to that job, which will help you get fit for the profile. Maybe you are an individual contributor right now, and through the promotion you're looking at a people manager role. Okay, so one of the resources that you may need to acquire is to hone or learn your people development skills, people management skills, your leadership skills. So one of those things could be to invest in a good leadership program and get yourself trained, get yourself fit for that promotion. If it's a people manager role that you're looking at, or if it's any specific role, an individual contributor role, and it needs certain specific areas, skill sets, then resources you need to acquire would be knowledge and skills that are required for that role. And same thing, say you are on a weight loss journey, resources that you would need could be a good mentor, a good coach who will help you in making a diet chart for you, or advising you what to eat and what to cut off, or advising you certain things, certain regimes that you may follow to get onto that fitness journey. Same thing for any other thing. If you want to become an entrepreneur, right, resources that you have would be your desire to excel, their desire to learn, and resources you would need possibly could be with respect to some kind of an investment, money. You may also need mentors. So create that. What happens? So let me know in the comment what will happen once you identified these resources. Once you have created these resources, it will tell you where do you lack, what do you have more of, and what do you have less of, and it will help you to prepare your action plan according to this. Okay, so that's number 5. Now let me move on to the next one, number 6. So with me, everyone, just type in with you in the comment if you're still with me, and you're going to do, and you've got an idea about the resources that you have or you need to acquire. Okay. Number 6 is, have I evaluated? So ask yourself this question: have I evaluated whether the goal is ecological? Have I evaluated whether the goal is ecological or not? Now, what does being ecological mean? Being ecological means to check whether the outcome that I have, the goal that I have, it fits within all aspects of my life. Okay. Now, let me explain this a bit more. Let me, in fact, take an example and share it with you. So this is what I'm sharing with you is about Ruhi. Now, Ruhi, she used to work in an organization. She still works in an organization. She has a very good job, good salary. Ruhi, however, has a lot of interest into yoga and fitness. She's like a fitness freak. And while she has a very good job, well-paying job, she's not very happy in that job. Somehow connection nahi hai, what she wants to do. What she wants to do is to get into yoga and fitness and start up her own studio, yoga studio. Now she wanted to quit her job and start, get into this entrepreneur, get into this field and start her yoga and fitness. Now, when we were working on the well-formed outcomes, so we were using the well-formed outcomes. What came as a realization for her was, one, she was a little skeptical, yes, whether to leave that job and start this or not, because she's not happy with that job that she has. But what came as a realization to her was that now she's rushing into quitting her job and starting a business of training people into yoga and fitness. So where Ruhi is a single mother, she has a kid to take care of. Her parents are also dependent on her, so she also supports to her parents to some extent. So right now, working on that goal will become a stressor for her. So what she's decided now is to change the goal, look for a job which will allow her get more income, which she can use into as a put into business development for her yoga and fitness. Because this goal for her, that to quit her job and immediately get on to starting a yoga fitness classes, coaching sessions into yoga, it was not ecologically sound, because there's a lot of people who are dependent on her. Her family is also dependent on her. So what I mean to say over here is, many times we rush into things. हमें लगता है अच्छा ये गोल ना इतने टाइम पे ही खत्म होना चाहिए. So that acts as a stressor for us. So for Ruhi, it's not 2021. She's giving her, allowing herself that time, another 2 to 3 years, allowing herself that time to transition from a corporate job to becoming an entrepreneur and starting her business of starting that studio, which is her dream that she wants to start up. So look at your goal and understand, is that goal ecological for you? Is that something which fits within all aspects of your life? Okay. And you can ask yourself, I'm going to share 2 questions here, which will help you to check, evaluate whether your goal is ecological or not. Number 1, what will happen? What will happen if I get it? What will happen if I get it? What will happen if I achieve this goal? And what will stop happening if I achieve this goal? What will happen if I achieve this goal? What will stop happening if I achieve this goal? You may also ask, what will happen if I don't achieve this goal? Write your responses to these questions so that you can get to understand what are the different areas which are getting impacted because of this goal. So that is number 6. Number 7 is, does the goal identify the first step I need to take? So when you are working on your goal, are you aware what is the first step that you need to take? Okay, so these are the 7 things which are part of the well-formed outcomes. So please apply this and it will give you a lot of clarity on your goals as well. Now, this was the second one. What were the first? The first one was to identify your why. The second one was to create your goals, how to write your goals in a better way with the help of well-formed outcomes method. The third is your top action commitment. The third thing that you must not compromise on is the action. So for each of your goal, take your top five goals, or if it's very overwhelming, take top three goals and write down 3 actions that you're going to take with respect to each of those goals. And then bring it down to one action, one thing that you will do every day, every day without fail, which will help you towards that goal. So if it's, for example, if it's towards your mental health, if one of your, then what is it that you will do every day? It could be, say, 5 minutes or 10 minutes of spending time with yourself. It could be meditating, or 15 minutes of time spent with your spouse, with your loved ones, uncompromised. Okay, quality time spent with your time. So what is that one small action that you will take every day and that you commit to take every day towards your goal? And it can change. You can say, for 1 month you are following that, and then the second month you may change that. What is that daily action that you're going to take up? Okay, so identify what are those actions and write them down. Don't keep it in your head, write them down. That's when the actual action starts to happen. So that's number 3. Now coming to number 4. Number 4 is with respect to our beliefs. Goals बना लिए, actions decide कर लिया, why भी पता चल गया. But if our beliefs are, we are still sticking on to the beliefs, older beliefs, limiting beliefs, then we won't be able to move forward, right? So type in agree in the comment if you agree with this statement. So unless and until we let go or change our limiting beliefs, we will always be stuck wherever we are. So what are the beliefs that you want to let go of, that you let go of? Forget want. What are the beliefs that I let go of? So ask yourself, just close your eyes and ask yourself this question. What are the beliefs that I'm letting go of? Okay. And then please share in the comment that these are the beliefs that I'm going to let go of right now, starting now. Okay. It's something which what is it that I'm holding on to, which is no longer serving me? So I'm willing to let go of these beliefs. So close your eyes, think about this, and share in the comment what are the beliefs that you want to let go of. And once you have acknowledged some of your limiting beliefs, which you're willing to let go of, then think of the beliefs. What are the beliefs that you embrace? What beliefs do I embrace right now, starting now? Okay. I'm amazing. I'm awesome. I'm unstoppable. I can do whatever I want. I get whatever I want. I'm successful. I'm important. I have an important work to do over here. I live my passion. I'm a passionate person. I'm a success magnet, or whatever you believe in. Okay, what are the beliefs that you want to embrace? Share those beliefs. Yeah, share those beliefs in the comments and practice them every day. Say that to yourself. So these are like you're saying those affirmations to yourself, right? Repeating that to yourself every day without fail. So whatever are the important beliefs that you want to embrace. Okay, so what beliefs are you letting go of? Share in the comments. And what beliefs do you want to embrace right now, starting now? Share those beliefs in the comments. So those are the 4 things, everyone. Okay, starting with why and understanding how to write your goals, then coming to your actions, and then ending with your beliefs. So these are the 4 important areas, non-negotiable areas, which are important for your goal setting process. Okay, everyone, with me, just type in. So type in whatever comes to your mind right now. What's going on in your mind right now with respect to this session? So type in and share in the comments. And this is week 2. Okay, so week 1 we worked on Wheel of Life. Week 2 we learned more about goals. And as we progress for the rest of the year, the rest of the 50 weeks, I'll bring you more areas which will help you in working on your relationships, working on your emotions, getting better with respect to your career, your health. So I'm going to bring many learnings, things which I've learned from my mentors, from my trainers as well, that will help you more and more. And one thing which will be needed is for you to be regular in these sessions, because I may even have some surprises for people who are regular, who are sharing their learnings in the chat, in the comments. And I read all of that, whatever you have shared in the comments. And please keep sharing that. Okay. And please do invite your friends, your colleagues to be a part of us, and come along with us on this journey. So I'm quickly going to read some of the chats over here. Undo it. Yes, Pankaja, that's a belief. That's a belief many people have. Another belief that many people have is the imposter syndrome, that many a times we do something very well. We are capable of it. We do a lot of things. Success bhi milta hai, achieve bhi karte hain hum. And then we suddenly start believing that, okay, so maybe it was because of luck. I got lucky in getting this. I got lucky in getting that promotion. I got lucky in getting this, becoming successful. So that's an imposter syndrome. Even though we would have worked on that, and we know that we are capable of it, sometimes we start believing that, yeah, I'm not good enough. And people, doesn't matter, at different levels, a lot of people have this syndrome. So if you have an imposter syndrome, and even I used to have that, and I struggled with that. If you have that syndrome, if you have that belief, then that's something that you must start to let go of. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Pankaja, for sharing that. Getting more clarity towards the goal. Thank you, Pankaja. Pooja, I'm living beautiful relationship with my ideal soulmate. Is this self-initiated? How can we reframe? I'm living a beautiful relationship with my ideal soulmate. So do you think it's self-initiated? I'm living a beautiful relationship with my ideal soulmate. So see, this is a different kind of a goal, right? So it's not something which is there right now. It's an imagination. It's a visualization. So what you have written, Pooja, is good to go. Okay, you bring in a lot of visualization in that. Put in a lot of visualization. Put in a lot of energy and have good vibrations around that. So it's about attracting a soulmate, attracting the right kind of relationship, right? And we did in one of the sessions, we did relationship blueprint as well in the law of attraction mastery, right? So work on that relationship blueprint, Pooja. Okay, and see, understand what is it that you want in that, and what are you willing to give. Okay. Okay. I'm loving all your sharing. And I would really like to acknowledge all of you for being so active here. Okay, so I think we have almost come to the end of it. Today's session was more like a mini workshop. So like I promised, it would be different kinds, it would be shorter sessions, it would be master classes, workshops, it would be live and recorded both. And I will also be inviting quite a few people to share their experiences as well. Okay, so please keep a lookout on these sessions. Invite your friends, invite your colleagues and families to be a part of this. And let's all together become unstoppable in 2021 and work towards excellence in our life and in our career. On that note, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.